so wie ich für dich eingetreten
Killing spree.
bin. Dann tritt für mich ein, so wie ich für dich eingetreten bin.
Dave, shit just got real, nigga. Ow!
Man School 202. Better hear what I've got to say because you won't get it again.
I'm not an alpha male. I'm not a beta male either. I'm just a better man. Better man. Well, put your happiness first, because if you don't, they won't.
Yo, what up? GYBB gets your balls back. WWDD, what would Dante do? Sexual Revolutions being podcasted.
What's going on?
What's going on, Harry? What's going on?
Doing good.
These are both mine?
Yeah, those are both
Okay,
yours.
thank you,
Yeah, I
brother.
gave you 2 waters.
Appreciate it.
No worries, everybody.
Big
Gotta
shouts
take
to
care.
my boy Harry in the building.
What's up, everybody? What a pleasure it is.
What's going on?
Once again, to try to keep these alligators down.
It's difficult.
Every week I try.
It's difficult.
hard.
Big shouts to the motherfucker in the building. Shout out to Domino in the back.
That's
and
right.
Domino.
Holding it down on the 1s and the 2s.
I don't know if he's
And the
got,
3s and the 4s. They got,
maybe.
Digitally, they got a lot going on.
How
these days.
many numbers you got back there, Dom?
For this show, I got about 5 or 6.
Oh,
You got
man.
5 or
One
6?
of them doesn't really count. But
All right.
Nah, don't sell
collectively,
yourself
I got
short.
Around like 7.
Fair enough.
Holding the 1s through the 7s.
Fair enough. Yeah, and Dom, how's things going? Have you got any stink on your hang down lately?
No, I had a really lazy weekend. I didn't even leave the house. I didn't.
Oh, man.
Just-
It's all
Very
right.
lazy.
Recoup.
You gotta order from Uber Puss.
Is that a new app that you're putting together?
No app.
You having trouble getting funding?
Come right to you. No, actually, the
You got a lot
money's
of
flowing
fun?
in.
Oh, boy.
The money is flowing in. It's weird,
Boy.
right?
Yeah, wow.
It's
I'm
weird.
surprised.
Guys were just like, take my money.
You went public the first day? Wow.
I just
All
came
right.
up with the idea. And I went live
Well, if this-
Sunday, and they were just, the money started
At
coming
this point,
in.
you're going to catch up with Elon and,
Elon, yeah, well, I don't want to shit. He's
and his
having a rough,
Cybertrucks,
He's having a rough time, B.
Oh, wow.
He's having a rough time.
I feel bad.
So bad. Anyway, always keep in mind, shout out to everybody, all the listeners in the building, anybody in the chat. If we sound good, give us a thumbs up, like and share, all that shit. Put that number up just in case there's motherfuckers with problems. Put it up so they can contemplate what they want to say, what they want to do. We always got to do that. 513-202 and Nero, Nero, consultations, all kinds of live consultations. That's how we do it.
Well, this is your chance to get help for free.
For free.
For free.
Swear you don't have to argue with me about the prices.
There you
know
go.
what I mean?
There you go. There's one guy. There was one guy. It was one guy.
Nothing cheaper than free. My father used to say that. My father used to also say tighter than Dick's hat band. Have you ever heard that saying?
No. Would
Thank
Dick's
you.
hat band be the guy? A guy named Dick?
So Dick is the guy.
Sure.
He had a hat,
Okay.
usually a fedora, but the hat band was tight.
Okay.
Because the head was, and
It was like Dick Tracy?
Oh, you're fucking this up.
I don't.
No.
I've never heard this
All
shit.
right,
I'm
so
sorry.
trying to-
I'm sorry. Your dad was born in the 1900.
1920.
Yeah.
So it was just a saying, tighter
Okay.
than Dick's hat band.
Okay.
So Dick was the guy, whatever, who the fuck.
Yeah.
But, there's no room in the hat band.
No, I understand the
tight.
The hat band was tight. Why the
Yeah.
guy's name's got to be Dick? That's the problem with that name.
It's just Dick. Back then, they used to
I
say.
know.
They also had dudes, they used to call motherfuckers Johnson. You didn't know that?
That being like you're a Johnson.
Now you're sentiment Johnson. Women used to say that.
Oh, like like
Like
you
st-
dirty motherfucker.
No, just like, now you're talking Johnson.
Man.
I got a lot of old,
People back in the day were stupid.
When you
Man,
say that,
old people is dumb.
We got a call
We
in the
do.
building.
Let's do it.
Oh wait, also who we at? Who's on the line? Where you calling from? What's your name?
Anthony from Melbourne, Australia.
What up, Ed? What's going on?
Oh, yeah, Anthony.
Hey.
Now let me tell you something.
Man,
Wait, I gotta get a background. Anthony is one of my clients, correct? Ed?
Yes, I am.
From Australia. Really good looking dude, good handsome dude, but has no idea about how fucking hands. He's
just got a Ferrari he doesn't know how to drive.
He's just
all over the road.
Handsome dude, in shape.
Yeah, I remember.
I'm driving it upside down.
Oh boy, wrong gears,
just
reverse,
backwards, grinding the gears. What's up, man? How you doing, bro?
Hey, I'm calling just to give you my props. Props, man. It's been absolutely fantastic.
My man.
How everything's coming along. So yeah, like, oh man.
Now, Anthony, how long have you been consulting with? How long you been consulting with me?
All right. So probably since July last year.
Okay. All right. Cool. But he's good. Yeah. Anthony has so much potential, Harry. He just doesn't believe me. And this is the problem. Yeah. This is the problem with the show. Nobody believes me, Harry. When
you're offering fantastic claims.
They don't believe me.
It's too good to be true. This is like an infomercial. There's no way.
It's coming through now.
It is starting to. I'm glad, Anthony. I'm so
man. Since I'm jumping on to stage 2 of the brick now.
Yeah.
Man, it's like a point of view waiting to the end of the video sort of thing. It's like everything just is coming through. It's like
it's now all making sense.
Say, all the mistakes aren't mistakes anymore.
Yeah, that's good, man. I'm happy for you. You know, I want your success, bro. I want you to know that.
Course,
I want you to know that. I want you to have the life that you have. But don't get me wrong. This crazy Australian is a rockhead. Oh, his head is harder than granite. He don't listen. But it's coming together.
Okay.
So I think I might have cracked it, right?
Now, is Anthony the guy who does? Do you do the MMA or karate? Karate?
Yeah, Ford MMA at the moment. Just doing straight wrestling.
Oh, okay, nice. All right.
Yeah, Ford MMA, Ford Muay, yeah.
Okay.
Massage therapist.
A lot of my 20s just like focusing on the sport. So I've been living in a cave.
Massage therapist.
Oh man.
Just touching ladies all the time. This is why I'm not a massage therapist.
Oh no. Why?
As I would be like, I don't know if you're interested in the my new revolutionary finger pop.
My new technique, my 2-finger technique, the 2-finger clip punch. Maybe you've heard of it.
Little finger pop. I don't know.
You learned it in the mountains with David Carradine.
I was in a fucking hitting a tree with my.
Yeah, just your 2 fingers. Over and over again.
So my fingers were bloody. But, Ant, man, thank you for calling. And what's going on? Anything to say? Anything you want to say?
No, nothing really to say.
Just giving me my fucking really props. Well. Yeah.
Giving you your props. Just a little reminder as well that you're one of the best comedians as well, you and Godfrey.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, I appreciate you.
Yeah. Tremendous.
And fuck Harry.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. I'm here.
Hey, and keep working, man. Keep working. We're gonna talk soon. I just really want you to absorb this and let this stuff happen. You can't force it, and you just can't force it. You gotta let it happen. It's gotta happen naturally, so that when I'm not around, you never have to talk to me again. I'm just in your head. You just hear my voice. In your head. I appreciate you.
Well, that's literally the what would Dante do part. Yeah.
And let me tell you something. Ant's calling from Australia. I'm a pimp on other continents. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Multiple continents.
We've
already tackled Europe. Got Asia.
Australia.
Asia. I'm sure somebody in Antarctica.
Mongolia.
Well, it's not a continent.
No, but I gotta
Yeah.
mention I didn't even know there was a Mongolia.
I didn't know it was still around. No, is it still around?
It's still around. Mongolia is still around, bro.
Are they represented in the UN? Is there a representative from Mongolia?
There's some dude there with a furry hat
Oh boy.
and a yak
Slamming his shoe on the desk.
with a with a yak fur vest.
In the UN, I like they let him in like that. This is my finest
I
clothing.
counseled the dude. He said, "You have to come to." I don't know if this is my Mongolia. Well, let's just go with it. You have to come to Mongolia, and we will hunt wolves.
Yeah. Well,
He said that to me.
I appreciate the offer, Yurgay, but
He was like, "We will hunt wolves from the helicopter." I was like, "Fuck it, I'm in."
oh, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we're losing.
It's good to check in with you guys. Yeah.
All right, Ant.
All right, talk to you later.
Always good to hear you. You know, you were talking about people don't believe you. They don't listen because they don't believe because it's like, you're offering so much. It's like an infomercial. You're telling me I could get all this pussy,
But
all this
wait,
cash for $29.99?
but wait,
There's more?
there's more. But wait,
There's more.
there's more. I wonder, hey Domino, do you believe me yet? You don't believe me yet? Do you believe me?
I believe you.
You don't believe me, Domino. You don't fucking believe me. You think it could be true because you're hearing it. You're here every Tuesday listening to it, but I don't think you believe me, Domino.
I believe you.
All right.
All right. I want to see
you
it.
know
I
what?
hope so, Dominic.
And this is
You
not
deserve good
not
things.
against you specifically because I'm going to tell you there's a young guy I met some years ago
Well, yeah. Who's this guy?
who didn't believe me either.
Well, I mean, it's just, it takes time and, oh, yeah.
Didn't. I was like, you too can have the life you
Yeah.
want. And you know what he told me? You shut your fucking mouth.
I don't recall
you
that.
piece of shit.
I don't think it went down exactly
and I was like,
that.
whoa, why, Harry? Why so hostile? He goes, I will fucking knock your teeth out.
Oh,
I was
boy.
like, but I just want you. I don't fucking. You're a fucking liar.
I mean, it was like 12 years ago, so this my memory might be foggy. I don't remember it exactly going like that, but it did take me a while to kind of get on board.
even
Yeah,
when
'cause
he
you're
was winning,
scared.
even
Yeah.
when he was winning, he was like, "You shut your pie hole." I was like, "All right, I guess."
I was winning, but I didn't think I could get to that level. I didn't think I could do that. Nah, that's not. I mean, this is as good as it's gonna get for me. I'm not you. I'm not wearing pointy shoes. I can't.
I think that was a shot at me.
No, I mean, you did give me a pair of shoes. I was like, I can't wear these. They're very
You couldn't
nice.
wear the shoes. The shoes was hot as a
No,
motherfucker.
not the shoes. You gave me a pair of boots that were like first of all, just to let you know what kind of boots these were. I think they were Stingray boots. I'm not sure. We couldn't get the testing back on the skin, but on the inside it was
Stingray.
lined with zebra pattern. That's the inside of the shoe that no one's gonna see.
You gotta feel good inside. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I did get Harry a pair of shoes. I remember.
Yes, sir.
Cobalt blue.
Cobalt blue monk strap,
Monk strap, single or double?
double monk strap.
Double monk strap.
I don't know how a single monk strap. I've never worn a single. I don't know how that would work.
Just one buckle.
Just one buckle?
Yeah.
I don't do that.
What are you, gay?
Yeah.
The number's up.
Weird way to find out.
513-202 Nero Nero. Call up, holler at me. But yeah, it's hard. I get it, Domino. You don't.
It takes time, but I do think Domino believes. He's at the beginning of believing. He's not acting on it yet, but he believes that it's possible. But he'll get there. He'll get there because he's asking questions. He's volunteering information, so I know he's going to get there. Because he could just keep all this shit to himself and lie, but he's not.
Shout out to everybody who's listening, who was on. If you was on the live on Sunday, please give me a thumbs up, like, and a share, whatever the fuck. I don't know how it works. I don't know what platform you're on, but whatever the fuck.
Well, yeah,
is,
definitely
follow,
subscribe,
share.
subscribe, and share. Yeah, that's how you help out Dante and the show.
You're following me on with Tom and
Tom?
Remember Tom from fucking what was the platform we were listening to?
MySpace? What do you
MySpace.
mean? Oh, MySpace. Yeah. Do we have a MySpace page? I don't think we.
No,
I think
don't
we
have a MySpace.
managed to start right before that, so we
We
don't
might
have.
have one, and just not, man, I don't think we.
Man,
maybe-
MySpace was the place. I mean, that was the only game in town, so that's.
Remember, we had a Facebook page, and that bitch Mara stole it.
She did try. Yeah, she did.
She tried to steal our Facebook page
She tried to. I think she tried to blackmail us for $500. I think it
to
was
get the Facebook
to
page.
get the passwords of the Facebook
And
page.
then she hung up the phone. This is how specific I am about my rules and regulations.
Sure.
I haven't said this in a while, but how if you hang up on me, and this is anybody, I don't care. I don't want to hear. My girlfriend, she is from Venezuela. She is a hot,
Spicy Latina.
spicy Latina. She hung up the phone on me.
A very fiery Latina.
Fire Latina.
You
I
must-
don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You don't hang up.
What if she's a crazy Russian?
If she? So you're making sex with me and other girls together, and you don't tell me. I was like, I am the transporter.
But anyone who hangs up on you, I think, is the point.
Anyone, that's the point.
Anyone, Russian, Haitian,
I-
it doesn't matter.
You think you're going to talk to me? I hang up on you. Ça passe, les boulets.
Well,
One
you
PPT.
usually hang up on them right into the third verse of that.
You
But,
will never hang up on me. Never.
but the point is that Mara hung up on you.
She hung up on me and I fired her. If anybody that knows Mara she hung up on me and I fired her. I didn't even fire her. I just removed her from everything.
That's true. Yes, she did have to. She did have to follow up.
She did-
See, that was leading with action. You talk about leading with action. You didn't call her up and say, "You bitch, I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm done with you." You just removed her from everything.
Never.
And then she asked, "So I'm not on the show anymore?" In text question mark.
No. She was. So first of all, the rule is make ultimate decisions, never give ultimatums.
Right.
An ultimatum is a negotiation.
Right.
If you give me a blowy, then I will stick around.
Right.
If you give me the butt,
Well, let's
we
make
can-
it one that's more relatable for the people.
That's not
let's start.
relatable?
Yeah, I mean, that's not how you lead off in a negotiation for
all right.
most of us. But let's say the idea is you call back up and go, "Listen, if you hang up on me again, we're through."
oh no, you don't get that.
Right? That's a negotiation.
That
What
was
you
and
do is
she called me up and she said hello. I said hello. She said, so I'm off the show. She went to log in on the
a
log
bunch of the other social
the other
media
platforms.
accounts,
And
yeah.
she said, so I'm off the show. I go, yup. She goes, okay. All right. That was the last.
That was the last interaction. Yeah.
That was the last time I spoke to her
yeah.
ever.
It's only been 10 years. There's still a chance.
And
I think.
I brought that bum bitch a coat.
You did buy her a
And she
coat.
came in from fucking California with a windbreaker in December.
Yeah.
Just shivering with a turned over shoes, freezing, and a broken suitcase with a broken zipper. I'm like, bitch, you need a coat.
And you did. You got her a
got her a
coat.
coat.
I let her stay at my place
You did?
to give her some time.
Yeah.
And she repaid us by being awful.
Yeah.
And then,
That's fine.
yeah.
That's fine. She's somewhere running a marathon with her dog, whatever. The fuck.
So
513-202 Nero in the building. Phone calls up. I was talking about people not believing. I get it, guys. I get it that you don't think what I'm saying is true. It seems
impossible.
It seems impossible, but it's not. Before I was me, I was you.
Yeah. You were a nerd at some point. You were a guy who didn't get
I'm still a nerd.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what I mean. The 80s definition when.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I read books and stuff.
I'm a nerd. I grew up being a nerd. But
Yeah.
the point is, when you talk about.
I can believe that.
I was trying to make a point here. I don't remember what it was because now I'm thinking about Rubik's Cubes, but that's neither here nor there. Look, the point.
I wasn't a sexual nerd. Like I was finger popping early.
Well,
Disgustingly early.
what was the first finger pop? How old were you for the first finger pop?
3rd grade.
Oh, jeez. 3rd grade.
Yeah. My aunt told me to try and get a little stink finger. That's what she called
And then you just did it. You didn't even. It wasn't even sexual for you.
No. It was definitely sexual.
Oh, okay.
It was I'm not gonna say her name,
Okay.
but Michelle
Oh,
was. Her dad used to work. He was a bus driver. He used to come home late, and she didn't fight. she would invite me to the house, and we'd stay on the couch, on the plastic covers, and make out. And she had the 4th grade. She had titties already.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
you were the right pair. Well, I guess you gravitated towards each other because who else was?
Here's the thing. You're thinking a reflection of who I am now. I was a goofball. I was a fucking goofball. But I guess I was cute. I didn't know I was cute, you know?
Okay.
But girls like me. So it was like, come to my house. You want to come to my house after work and after school? I was like, sure. It's only 2 blocks from my parochial school, you know?
All right.
I knew
sure.
I wasn't supposed to be playing in my school clothes. But but what's that? What are you going to do?
What's the point of having a uniform? It's not going to get dirty.
Yeah, so, but I was a nerd in that I didn't really understand.
Yeah.
I really didn't understand that you could, you know, and I think I was very honest. So because I was honest, I didn't understand that was the reason why, you know, things came to me.
Yeah.
Because I was just ridiculously honest, almost.
But I'm a testament of that, of everything, because I'm more similar to you now than before, but I was nothing like you. So when because a lot of people are like, oh, Dante is different. Yeah. He dresses, he's wild, he's outlandish, he's a big guy, he's a tough guy. He's just kind of born with it or whatever.
And let me keep in mind, I'm old. I'm old now. So, like, I got, like, 5 knockouts left.
Okay. And
I'm saving them. I'm saving them for somebody that bothers my son.
Oh, boy.
So I'm not trying to waste them on just some random.
You got to work hard for it.
Some dude
you
stepped on my gators.
Yeah.
I'm not wasting
No more stepping on the sneakers?
Yeah, I'm not doing that. But I got about 4 or 5 left, and I'm holding on to them.
Oh, boy. Hopefully you don't run into Elon Musk or Donald Trump.
Yeah, I wouldn't even waste it.
You wouldn't?
No, because people don't understand. Black people are so comfortable with this Elon Trump.
Sure.
Oh, we are so comfortable. We are just like, because everybody's going, oh my God, what is he doing, right? Dom's a white dude. You're like, what's going on? And black people are like, yo, this is America.
You're like, yeah.
This is America. This is how it's always been.
This is what it's been. This is what it is.
It's always been. So we don't, but yeah, I mean.
I don't. The point is, like, I was nothing like you. I had little charisma if I wasn't performing. Little charisma. Didn't dress. You know, I just everything that you would imagine. Like, oh, I got nothing. I'm not anywhere near to being a ladies' man.
Yeah.
Right. So I wasn't any of those things, and now because of the things you taught me, I know what I'm doing in life.
And the thing is, it's not even that you're. Understand this. It's not that you're a ladies' man. I mean, it's a weird.
I don't know how to describe it.
Right,
you
but
know
it's
what
just
I'm saying. Like
just,
the way people look at it. Like,
it's being comfortable in your skin.
Yeah. But that's what people think it is, though. They're like, no, it can't be taught. It's not something you could teach. I can't do that. It could never be me. You got to be born with something, charisma or body type or. Like that's the excuse people make where they go, it's not me. Dante he just has a personality or he is born with that.
Nah, I mean I had a likability. Like I always had likability and stuff, and a lot of that had to do with my father. But I didn't really understand it, and I didn't know how to point it in a direction. It wasn't intentional. It just was kind of a thing, and that you have to learn that. And I was very, very afraid. So I understand what it is when people are afraid to take action, afraid to be their true self, afraid to take, because you don't want to fail. But understand this, nothing happens unless you fail. Nobody does is good at anything right out the gate. Even if you have a knack for it, you still suck.
Sure.
So if you want to be extraordinary, you have to make mistakes.
You have to be willing to try and fail. A lot.
And often. And it comes to a time where the failures become less, but the rejection means less, and you're able to move forward. Like Anthony called from Australia, man. Me and Anthony had some knockdown.
What was Anthony's issues?
He just didn't believe. He just didn't believe in himself. And then when he would get some kind of progress from doing the program, he would get progress. Then he would this is great. You know, he was what I call a revelation guy. And I realized that not just shut up.
Just do it.
Just keep doing the work. So, I was asked this question, and I always, the reason why I say lay the 5 bricks, we call it laying the 5. I never talked about this, why we call it laying the 5 bricks. It came from, how I always talk in analogies.
Yeah.
And somebody called me up and asked me, this was, I forget how long ago, how much does inspiration and motivation, how much does that matter? Or how do you? Oh, somebody asked me, how do you stay motivated? To kind of be in your true self. And I go, nobody is motivated. The point is, you got to show up. It's easy to show up when you're inspired, when you're motivated. It's hard to show up when you're not inspired and motivated. And so the analogy was this: if you go outside and you lay 5 bricks every day, right? At the end of the year, you will have 1,800. You'll have a whole wall, huge wall, 1,825 bricks high.
Sure.
Right? That wall doesn't give a shit whether you were inspired, whether you like masonry, whether it was cold outside, whether your mama died, your parakeet died, you got shingles. As long as you go out and you lay 5 bricks a day,
you'll have a wall.
You will have a wall. And here's the other thing. Just through the repetition, the bricks on the top will be better than the bricks. They will be executed better on the top than
As
they
you go on, you get better.
And it doesn't, and that wall don't give a shit about what you think. It's how you're depressed. It don't matter. If you just show up. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a level of proficiency that you will reach because of it, but and then there's nuance to make it better. So, for instance, like so that's the whole point of laying the bricks. That's where the analogy comes from. It's just about showing up. It's going out, paying that compliment, doing it from an honest perspective, doing it from a place where you're not looking for something. It's non-transactional communication. So that, because if women can tell that you're being transactional. They can tell when you want, they have to. Like, a woman's life is at risk every time she goes out with a dude. How can it not be a situation where if she's unable to read the context of social interaction, she could be unalived because of it. So she has to. Now, don't get me wrong, women will ignore the signals and stuff if they like you enough, and they'll give you a pass. But trust me, they get it. They know when you're lying. They just choose not to call you on it when you do. And even if they don't know right away, they'll know later. So phone number's up, 513-202-NERO. Once you understand that it's and we're all in this boat together. It's just yes, we're talking about relationships and women and women who are listening, who want men and stuff, and all of these things are, yes, it is relevant to that, but it's not just relevant to, this is relevant to life.
Well, Dante, was there any, like, not a turning point, but a point where you decided, like, I have to change my perspective and how I look at women, or was it just all gradual and little by little that you figured all this out? Like, I don't think I've ever asked you that. Like, was there a moment or something? Or we gotta, wait a minute. Oh, my goodness. Wait, what?
Oh, Lord, big shout. Lloyd Hinton sent me $20 on the Cash App. Thank you, Lloyd. Hold on 1 second. One more. Where is it? Big shout to Xavier. Corina sent me $5 on the Cash App. Thank y'all, brothers. Send me some more money, everybody. Send me some money. When you're talking about how I looked at women, here's the other thing.
At relationships or dating.
Man,
was there a point where you're like, man, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing?
Always. Even when I thought I knew what I was doing, it was always something that would happen that would get me to a point where I wouldn't know what the hell I'm doing. There's nuance. There's always different levels. There's levels to it. There's, I'm learning, raising my son and not so much dealing with my, big Big shout out to Prince Terrell. $10 on the Cash App. Send me some money.
Not so much dealing with your wife.
Well, so not dealing with my wife on a romantic level, but just dealing with people in
On a
the
parenting level,
the
yeah.
social engagement, the social interaction, and understanding how to maneuver and not create problems. I don't know if I don't know if I told you this, but we had a call a Sunday where this dude was with some chick and she
Uh-oh. Cash is coming in.
$10 from Young Mike in the building, baby. Send me some money. We got any cash apps on the Yo, let me say this first and foremost. If y'all are sending me a super chat, please go on my app, on my channel, and send me. Godfrey got enough money. Send it on Dante,
School 202,
on Man
yeah.
School 202 channel, please.
On YouTube. The Man School 202
Please,
YouTube
if you
channel.
can switch, if you're gonna send me a cash app, please send it. Because all Godfrey's gonna spend it on his haircuts and parts.
Oh, boy. Leather jackets and vintage T-shirts.
So
And fake mustaches so he can do the Steve Harvey impression that we all love.
yeah, well, whatever. So, but shout to Young Mike in the building. But I think you were saying
You were telling me something about Sunday. You had somebody call in.
somebody
or something.
called in
Yeah.
and this guy was just he was dating this girl. Literally had a situation where he had put, I guess for tax purposes, something, put $200,000 in his girl's in her
bank
name.
account in her name or something.
And then he was, smashing other chicks and whatever. And he was like, I said and this was his testimony. Yeah, I just didn't think she was that smart.
That she would catch on.
She goes in his email, sees some
Hanky panky. Going
Yeah.
on, some
and he
chicanery.
didn't even get shenanigans. He didn't even get caught for what he was doing. She was suspicious about something he had done that wasn't even really.
But he
nothing.
still got, and then he got caught, which is
Yeah, but
it was like when they got Al Capone for tax evasion.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah, so or it just was like, or they got what you call it, Ron Jeremy for chlamydia. But they what I want to say is the thing as I was talking and so genuinely when so the guy had put $200,000.
She took
She
the 200
caught it
grand.
and
she changed
and
the
he had
passwords.
changed the passwords and he's out $200,000. And I was like, man, like I don't think that this woman should steal $200,000 from him, but I also don't think like you can. This is why you like if you doing dirtbag shit. And this is what I wanted to talk about. You're doing dirtbag shit, something can happen.
Sure.
The problem is because you're doing dirtbag shit, like he didn't even apologize after
her.
he got caught. He was like, yo, I think she was cheating on me anyway. And I was like, why is that? Yo, I sent her to Italy on a girls trip and she came back and she had a health, checkup and it was STD and she tried to tell him they test for STDs all the time or whatever. Maybe she was but I didn't even really care. But what I realized is that genuinely he didn't care. He just did. I don't think he liked women. Do you understand what I mean? Like
Maybe. I can't relate to it because I'm not a guy who hates women, but
I don't say he hated. I just he didn't like them. He
didn't like her or women in general.
It just seemed like that women had a utility.
For him.
They were like it was a utility. And then I was like, well, here, and so this is a rough situation, but it's also a situation where I'm going, look, at least, first of all, if you do something, look, I don't know whether the girl was cheating or not, and he was like, you acting like she's the greatest.
Perfect.
Chick.
Yeah, it doesn't
That's
matter.
not what I'm saying. The point is, you got $200,000. It's not in your account. You gotta show some level of credibility, some kind of commitment to being just a good person. And if you didn't even apologize, like he didn't apologize, and then when he found out that the money was going, he still didn't apologize. And I'm just like, my suggestion was this: tell her you're really sorry, blah blah blah. But here's the thing: if you're not sorry, women know you're not sorry.
Yeah.
And so I was gonna say, well, offer her 50 grand and she give you back the 150. Well, she's like, 50 grand. I go, well, it's 50 grand or none.
Right.
At least there's good faith to the fact that I'm going, I did this. You got me over the barrel. Let me. I fucked up. You got me over the barrel. I played you. You ended up playing me. But look, it's 200 grand. How about I give you 50? We go. I apologize. I take when we go.
Stay together.
Well, it's not because I was like, do you still want to be with her? I almost think maybe I want to be with her so I could get my money. I go, this is the problem.
Everything is a come up.
Everything
for the guy.
is not a come up, but it's a con, and when you look at it further, it's the reason that it's really a self-esteem issue. And I know that's hard to believe because here's a guy who's got 200 grand in the bank account. He's smashing chicks. He's sending girls to Italy, on a girl trip, whatever. The bottom line with this is that he's in a situation where he doesn't think he has any
value.
He doesn't think he wants to be this jet set and
Playboy, yeah.
But he don't think that nobody would put up with it. He doesn't think that he's good enough that he could propose or be truthful in who he is as a person and still get what he wants.
Get multiple women.
So he's like, it's like I say this all the time. When you, if somebody's 5'4" and they're lying about it on their app and they're saying I'm 5'6", it's because you don't think that 5'4" is good enough.
Yeah.
And in your mind, you have this distorted kind of understanding that, if somehow I'm just 2 inches taller, it'll all work out.
Everything would be better.
Everything. And it's not. It's not. I'm not saying that there's not a situation where a girl would go, look, I don't want to date some guy who's 5'4". I do understand that is a variable. But if somebody has a measure of who you are as a person is the 2 inches of height, that might not be somebody you want to deal with. They just don't think, and they can have that attitude. It could be whatever. Everybody has their standards. But the point is, you think that your only worth is the 2 inches that you're lying about. Everything that you offer. I had a guy that I counseled years ago. He had herpes, and he was like fucked up because he was like, I'm this chick, and she gave it to me, and I go, what kind of guy are you? And he says, I'm in tech. I'm a smart dude. I'm a hard worker. I'm a this, that. Not once did he mention that he had herpes because he thought I didn't ask. And I didn't ask that. What I was saying was, who do you think you are? When I say, tell me about yourself, you're going to go to who you think.
You're not leading off with herpes.
You're leading off with the things that you feel are valuable to you. The measure of somebody is not just herpes. It's just not. I'm not saying it's not a variable. I'm not saying that women won't go, look, if you're, if you broke, you better look, your fuck game better be crazy. You got,
Sure.
it all.
You got to bring something else to the table.
Yeah, you got to,
If you can't shoot, you better rebound.
And I'm not saying that there's not women who won't go, look, this motherfucker got herpes, and he's honest about it. First of all, you got to be honest about it.
Sure.
Right? Which means if you're honest about it, you're going to say, hey, this is what my situation is and there's precautions. You're going to have a... First of all, what you're saying right up front is that I'm honest. And if you can't... The fact... there are dudes who got herpes who won't tell you. There are dudes who...
Liars with herpes?
There's lying-ass herpes dudes.
The only thing worse than a liar is a
There's
liar
guys who got
STD.
There's guys who got herpes who got scabs and scabies.
Oh, boy.
And are just ignoring it.
Acting like they don't have herpes?
Must be the detergent I'm using.
might be raining out.
It might be Gain. But the point is, being honest is something that you just can't deny. Nobody can deny.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that a woman can say, okay, this is not something that I want to deal with.
It's always better to lead with the honesty.
Oh yeah.
Because what's the benefit of somebody finding out that it's a lie? It makes it worse. It hurts more. At least
If
with
I
you're
find-
honest, you give somebody a chance to process that. And
and then go, you know what? Let me see what I can do with this.
Yeah.
If
let me
you-
take this back to my manager.
Yeah.
And see if, which is my brain. Let me
Yeah,
take
yeah.
this back to my manager. Let's see what we can do. We had a great date.
But
This
if
has
you
been
lie
great.
to me, I would never give you that chance to do nothing to me. Suck passe, le boule.
I just picture you be like a Haitian, like Spenguli, hosting like those late night movies. I will never.
I would never. So
Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein.
I would love that. Numbers up 513-202 NERO. Call up in the line if something's going on. It's been minutes. I haven't gotten a
Yeah,
call
you
yet.
know something we talked about this afternoon because we had talked about we're just chatting as we do. Something that came up that we were talking about was from your experience, right? What is a thing that you look for in a relationship now that you didn't know you needed early on after years of experience? Because it's funny that I guess you don't know until you go to through many relationships. But what's the requirement?
Peace of mind is just if due north, if somebody is due north is argument and and just not. I mean, like I really realize as I'm older now, and I'm an old motherfucker. We gotta call. Let's go.
Oh, let's do it.
Dante,
What's up? What's your name? Where you calling from?
man, this is the only whip, man. I'm calling from Michigan, man. I'm one of your, I be in your chats all the time, man.
What's up? What's going on? What's going on? How can I help you, bro?
Chilling, man, just watching y'all, man, and say keep doing your thing, man. I enjoy your topics, man. I'm over 60,
Yeah.
Nice.
so I'm experienced in relationships. I was.
Wait, hold up.
real-
You're over 6 feet, so how's that work out?
60, over 60.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
over
yeah.
60. I thought he said 6 feet. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
Like-
my bad. Yeah, my bad, man. I'm 61, man. I'm
Nice,
61
nice.
years old.
nice. Are you married now? You got a girlfriend?
No, I'm divorced, man. I'm happily divorced, man. And,
What happened? I'm
in-
curious.
In retirement, she left. That was in the New Jack City days.
How old?
Yeah,
How old was she when she left?
When she left, I was 30,
Okay.
and she was 28.
Oh, wow. That's
That was a while
years
ago. Nice.
Yeah, we were young. No kids. We both had our kids before the relationship. Although I picked up another baby later on.
Hold on. You had the kids. You had the kids before the relationship.
Before the marriage with
Was-
somebody
what
else.
was you, 12?
She was already in a relationship in her youth and stuff. When I
Yeah.
met her son probably was like 7 or 8.
Okay. All right. Cool.
My son was about 3.
Okay. Did y'all have like a blended family?
Yeah, we had a blended family and everything was cool. Like I say, Dante, man, I'm a seasoned vet, man. I can give advice on relationships,
Yeah.
Like that. I would tell young brothers, when I see women, I don't like going to women's pads. I don't like to go to that. Shouldn't you strike that? Pause that. I don't like going to women's houses or where they dwell because I'm not comfortable there.
Now,
but
why is that?
Why is that? Why is that a problem?
Because anything could happen.
Yeah.
And I'm not in control. I'm only in control of myself. I don't know if she's telling me the truth. I've been in houses. I've been on a chick's couch with her. When her old man come through the door with a key in a silver chrome, with the silver chrome out,
Jake, you a old pimp.
Yeah, that's the
I
old
haven't
phrase.
seen-
silver
I haven't
chrome.
seen a silver chrome 38.
I come from that ready for the world, Morris Day and the Time, Prince. Michael
Okay, let me ask you
Jackson.
something. You talk about you don't
You don't go to a woman's
you don't
house.
you don't
never
go to
go to a
not
woman's
that,
pad.
but what you said you don't never know what they're saying is the truth, right? Let me
Yeah,
ask.
because I'm saying that I've seen my own people. I've seen my mother bring men in dad's house. I've seen aunties do it. I've seen aunties and girlfriends play on the boyfriend that they got another guy that they have at another girl's
Okay,
house.
hold on.
and they
Pause.
meet up-
Pause for 1 second. Let me say this. At 60 years old, are you saying that you still can't tell when a woman is being deceitful?
Of course I can tell at 60 years old, because at 60 years old, I'm not swinging at every pitch.
Well,
Right,
you know?
but
At
here's
60 years old, when a woman starts to lie, your wrist starts to get sore, like it's like arthritis.
you got a little
Well,
tonight.
you know, when you got kids out there that you see them on TV, you say, hey, that look like my man's son, that look like old boy's son right there. You know, because we went around the country.
Yeah, but here's what I think you're missing my point. Hold up, you're missing my point. Here's my point. At 60 years old, you going, I wouldn't go to no chick's house because I don't know whether she's telling the truth.
Yeah,
but I'm asking you. But
I got a place.
let me
Why
finish.
do I need that?
I get that. I get that.
got
You're going too
everything.
fast. You're going too fast. Let me
Moves quick.
let
for
me ask the
60-year-old.
question. Right.
All right.
So my point is, in one step you say you never know when a woman is telling the truth, but in the next breath you're saying at 60 years old you do know what. So my question is, which is it?
No, Dante, understand, man. Even though, you know, people say things and you can't be like, oh, I'm going to hold you to that you said, or you don't eat
Here's
ketchup.
what I would say. This is why I disagree with that. I'm going to tell you.
I see you with some ketchup.
Let me
answer the question.
Go ahead.
Let me answer the question. Because I feel at this age, even though the woman, even if I do trust her son, I'm not comfortable at a woman's house because a guy came through a door with a key with a gun.
Okay, and how old were you when that happened?
44.
Okay, so here's my question. My question is, then you have to understand that what you're saying is contradicting itself. Either you can tell when a chick is lying, or you can't. I totally get why you wouldn't go to somebody's crib if
That was then.
You know what?
Now I say my rule is this: I don't go to a chick's house because I don't have to put myself. I don't put myself. Now you say it's a trust issue. Well, maybe it is a trust issue, but I don't put myself in a woman's
domicile.
domain.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking that.
I don't believe I should do that.
I'm not knocking that, and you can have the standard that you want, but what you say you're giving advice about this is your personal perspective on this based on.
The reason I'm giving advice is that I've had more trouble at going to women's houses and being in their houses. I mean, if people was in the chat, they would understand. I don't know if you've ever had a problem at any chick's house, but I've had problems.
Have you, Dante? Have you ever had a problem at a chick's house?
I'm like Georgie Porgy putting prime. I'm not like Uncle Fester, man. I be calling you Uncle Fester and stuff. I'm not like you. I'm not sick.
Wait a minute. Why are you calling me? Wait a minute. Why are you calling me Uncle Fester?
Because you look like Uncle Fester from the Addams Family.
All right. We getting ready to hang up on your old ass.
Don't hang up on me. You know what I look like, man? You know what I look like?
Who do you look like?
Who you look like?
I look like Jamie Foxx. And I tell him, man, don't be saying I don't look like
Look,
no Jamie.
listen. I want to get to this point. Let me
Humble
get to
brag here.
Let me get to this
I'm
point.
tired of people on the street going, "You look like Jamie Foxx," and I say, "Hey, man, don't say that to me."
Listen, Jamie Foxx a funny looking motherfucker.
Well,
you know, millions of dollars, he still look like a funny motherfucker. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, he is funny looking motherfucker. Even my mother says it. She says,
Jay,
you look like Jamie Foxx.
Here's my point, Jay. What I'm saying is, I have been like, I don't have a problem with going to some woman's house. She invites me to her house, but
have you ever had trouble? Though,
yeah, I've had trouble, but not to the point where I would make a hard, fast rule about going to somebody's house. I just haven't. But I would say this: it's and you. I'm gonna let you respond to this. That is also, and to a certain extent, you got to take some responsibility of that. Is that you checking for chicks who messy chicks who are playing the game from both ends. And I would say to this that when you 60 years at this point, you can, I'm not saying you can't go to somebody's house if you don't have to go to somebody. I'm not questioning it. I'm just saying there comes I can tell immediately when a chick is messy. The problem is, what happens is, the reason why I've ever gotten to problems or gotten to situations
You're
that
looking
was funky,
past that
because I was trying to get I was trying to smash, and the red flags that was popping up, I was overlooking. Because the booty was fat and the titties was perky, and I was like, well, something would be there would be a clue to the fact that this chick was messy, and I would just overlook it.
Let me put it in a way that Wick can understand. You're trying to get your hustle on.
Yeah.
You're trying to dance on the disco floor.
Well,
Whit, let me ask you this, bud. What happened when the person came in with the gun?
Okay.
What happened?
Well, let me roll the tape back to tell y'all what happened in the evening.
All right, make it tight, because I got to go to another caller.
I know the airtime. Listen, Dante, it was Mother's Day.
This is already too much. You get me?
R. Kelly had just came out with "Trapped in the Closet."
This is too much.
He said in the picture.
Get to the point.
Set in the tone. It was partly cloudy with a chance of rain. All right, let's go.
I met the kids. We had dinner, all that. The kids left.
Okay.
And we was on the couch. And the guy walks through with the chrome. And I'm up there, drilling her, from way like off the top of the dresser.
Uh-huh.
On the couch. And
God
he comes
damn
through
it.
with the chrome.
You're giving her the different strokes.
He said, what the? And I said, hey, man, I don't, I pop up, man, Jimmy all along and everything. Man, I'm like, oh, shit, oh, man.
Practice
hey, man,
safe sex, everybody.
The guy like, man, get your shit, get out of here, man.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
All right. Fair enough.
No harm, no foul.
Understand me? I'm talking about I had to pull, and she's on the couch.
Yeah.
And I had to pull my swipe up out of her and standing there naked with this guy with this chrome.
Well,
so I'm saying is that maybe that traumatic experience does have me uncomfortable.
Well, that is a traumatic experience.
That is
anytime you're frightened and you still have a hard on, that's a traumatic experience.
I do use the medicine though. I do for glaucoma and stuff. So.
Okay. I don't know how we got there, but
okay.
that's fine. You know what? I wish you well, Whit. You seem.
Lord Jamar. Lord Jamar tried to say Dante gave him some lace front. And I said, man, come on, man. We watched the whole thing. Come on, we watched the whole thing. I'm a fan, man. I'm a fan, man.
Thank you, Jay. I appreciate you.
Let me tell you something about algorithms. They don't want to put you in the algorithm, man. I have to come looking for you. And Dante, man, I'm going to subscribe to you, man. Dante,
thank you, brother. I appreciate you, Dave.
All right, y'all stay up, man.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. The only whip, man. Y'all follow me, man.
The only whip. All day.
The only whip on YouTube, man.
I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Thanks for calling in, bro.
Y'all brothers keep preaching that good stuff to these brothers, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And stay safe out there, man.
Thanks, Will.
Stay safe.
And I'm drinking wine right now.
I would never believe that.
Looking out the window.
Whip,
Right.
I holler at you, Whip. Thank you.
All right.
Here's that was a fun call, even though I got called Uncle Fester. I can look past that. What are you gonna do?
There's so many details. That's one we have to gloss over.
Yeah.
But I like when he started revealing, like he was.
R.
doing
Kelly just came out with the first version, the third version of "In the Closet."
This day in history. The microwave had just been invented.
Because I pulled my swipe out and I was drilling them from on top of the dresser.
Yeah. The #1 movie at the box office was Planet of the Apes.
8-Ball Jackets had just come out.
And who was running down the street with a hard on? The only whip.
J Whip, the only whip.
Man, that's funny. Did you? All right. So
here's my
point.
Here's my point. My point is that there are the red flags.
You got to learn to read the red flags, not just cut everybody out and have a hard and fast.
And look, I get you. If you got a hard and fast, excuse the terminology.
Hard
you got a hard and fast. We got a call. Let's go.
If you have a veiny rule like that.
What's up, Dante?
What's going on? Who am I speaking to?
Man, it's Anthony from Chicago, man. Why you don't go live more often, bro? You gotta start communicating.
He's on 3 days a week.
I'm doing 3 days a week.
Why we don't get the notifications?
Because you didn't hit the bell. You didn't hit the bell.
Oh, I gotta hit the bell.
See, now
Yeah.
I'm fucked up.
Yeah.
Yo, this.
How can I get
man.
more
I
Dante?
be missing the show. I just caught the show again. I'm like,
Doug,
wow.
you got it.
All
So
right,
when
let me
you
ask
go,
you this: Are you
Doing
subscribed
live.
to the YouTube channel?
Of course.
okay.
Man.
Okay, all right.
So when you subscribe,
Godfrey,
when you subscribe, right? There's a little bell there. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but is it on the Godfrey channel? You got
No,
that on?
I'm on mine.
Man School
On mine.
202
Man
is
School
where
202.
Dante.
I need to do that too.
Have you
Oh, but
tried
it's popping
pressing
up- but it's
Control
popping
Alt
up
and
on the
Delete at
Godfrey
the?
channel.
No.
But it's
Well,
popping up
because
on the
I
Godfrey
also Godfrey is nice enough to let me reach his people. Go on Man School 202. You can also subscribe for mine on the Dante Nero DA. Subscribe for both. Hit the bell. And then when we go live, you'll be notified.
Yeah, plus
that's
we-
for everybody.
plus we have-
Also, man, start doing more debates with different people, Dante. Man, y'all gotta start doing way.
You gotta understand something. You gotta understand something. It's as if you heard the last call.
Sure.
It's not too many dudes that I want to debate. There's just not really. Look, there's a couple of people. I would have loved to talk to Kevin Samuels, right? Because
Sure.
I think what he brought to the
But
table.
that's already in your wheelhouse, though. Why not go
Yeah.
outside of your wheelhouse?
I mean, but here's what I'm saying. I also kind of like this kid that's out.
Science?
Jace. Jace is my boy.
Yeah,
Jace, the pickup scientist, is a really
Yeah.
good dude. But also, this kid, the Saint and the Sinner. I like his vibe. I just think there's some of it is youthful. It's just
Youthful vigor,
exuberance.
as we say. Yeah.
That way, I
Exuberant.
think. But I think
Man,
he's
don't
on.
go down that rabbit hole, Dante. Man.
What
That
do you
rabbit
mean?
hole gonna lead you to a swamp, bro.
What do you mean? What do you
Don't
mean?
Go down that rabbit hole.
What do you
bro.
mean?
Don't. I'm talking the red pill stuff.
No.
These guys aren't red pill. Dante.
I don't know if you noticed, but me and Patrice invented the red pill was a product of us.
Yeah. Oh man, I was just watching Patrice yesterday at work. That was crazy.
So I don't know if you know we did the show Black Phillip in 2006. I was his co-host on there. Did you know that, or you wasn't aware of that?
No.
Yes.
So, I'm kind of a young guy, so
Yeah.
I gotta
Well, now we're reaching that audience. If he's 20 years old,
Yeah.
he wasn't even
So
around for
what
that.
happened was Patrice called me up, and that was my best friend. And he had a show on Sirius Radio. We shot that. We shot 13 episodes on Sirius Radio. That went online, and it got this cult following. And all these red pill dudes was listening to those episodes, and they developed from that. You understand? And that's how the whole red pill. The problem with the red pill is they're not. I mean, it's not all trash, but what happens is that they
It's a lot
forget
of anger.
They
just
forget
come from
the empathy.
anger,
They
yeah.
forget the empathy. They're mad at women because women are women. And they want, it's like they love women, but they want women to act like men, and you're just not gonna have that. And
I just rather y'all guys stick to the content that you guys already got going. Because the last episode, you Godfrey, it was like a bald dude with glasses and another bald dude. That was like one of the funniest episodes.
Oh yeah, but that's different. You gotta you're talking about we do relationship stuff on my channel. That's Man School 202. Follow that.
Right. Yeah, I keep forgetting you.
And what I do with Godfrey is something different.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's different.
Okay.
It's different. So I appreciate you. But I mean, and you know what? Thank you for calling, because I don't even make that announcement nearly enough to let people understand what's going on. So if you are following on the Godfrey channel, please go to Man School 202, which is my channel, and like and subscribe on that channel and hit the bell so that you can get when I'm going live.
Because you're also going live on your own Sundays and Thursdays.
I go live on Sunday nights and Thursdays when I'm not traveling doing comedy. Okay?
All right, keep pushing the content.
I feel you, bro. Thanks for calling in, bro. And I appreciate the love I'm getting from Godfrey's channel, man. Shout out to all the people that are tuning in, listening to my bullshit on Godfrey's
Chicago,
channel.
we showing support. We showing support.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you, family. All right. So I mean, but every Tuesday before Godfrey's show, I rock on my channel. You feel me?
All right.
All right, bro. Peace. So the other thing is, I think sometimes I don't talk enough. Like, it's hard for me to blow my own horn. Sometimes it's difficult for me to go, I'm the dude who da. Because it's just,
you don't want to cut a wrestling promo where you're Ric Flair. There's nobody better.
Let me tell you something, brother. So there's that. But phone lines up 513-202-NERO.
Well, luckily for him, now he's got a whole archive of episodes. But I do love that. Hey, man, how come you're only on?
How come you're not live? Like, motherfucker, you just want me to be like Big Brother. I'm just going to have my cameras.
You want a toilet can? What do you want me to do?
Damn. So.
Well, there you go. Now you know, though. Now you know. Follow.
And I got to make sure, and this is your job right now,
boy.
to make sure that we let motherfuckers, you remind me to let motherfuckers know to follow us on the Man School.
Man School 202. YouTube.
Please, even if you're listening to Godfrey now, please go to the Man School 202 and then follow me there if y'all fuck with me.
Because that way you can hear Dante also on Sundays and Thursdays. And also sometimes we do bonus episodes, new episodes, you know.
And the YouTube page, we do the YouTube page. But I do live consultations on there where guys call in with their real world problems and go, yo, I'm fucked up. I don't know what to do. And I don't, a lot of times I don't get to do that on Godfrey's channel because Godfrey's channel is different. It's more like lifestyle entertainment, you know,
just
pop
different
culture,
topics,
different stuff, and that's just not what
Steve Harvey impressions, which we love. I love Steve Harvey impressions.
You gotta see his Elon Musk.
I haven't seen the Elon Musk. Oh, I gotta see the Elon Musk.
It's ridiculous.
I like when he does a really obscure one. They go, God damn.
You gotta hear his Whoopi Goldberg. It's fucking.
I gotta see all of those.
Nuts.
Yeah, I love.
Yeah, we got a call. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Yo.
What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, this Young Mike from Detroit.
What up, Young Mike? What's going on? Thank you, brother. Thank you for the cash app. I appreciate you. What's going on? How can I help you?
Yeah, quick question.
Sure.
Who was more important? Who was the better interview, David Allen Curry or Rosebud?
Wow. I you know, it's a weird thing that I don't feel like we. I think to pick which is better or which is not better, it's just like, man, like you could like, you know what I'm saying? Like you could like conscious hip hop and you could like ratchet gangster. I mean, why do we have to choose? Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, David Allen Curry was on Godfrey's though, and he is hilarious. And Rosebud was weird because Rosebud was on mine, which is weird because it's like you're straddling both stations, both channels. But you know, Rosebud was an interesting thing because he was a straight pimp.
Yeah, we got him in his later years.
Yeah, when he was a grandfather who was a pimp, right? And he had it's weird because he had a daughter. He had a young daughter who was like 18, 19. And he was definitely afraid because he had become he was a good dad, right? And his daughter was like, when she was little, she was like, you know, Daddy, I want to meet a man just like you. And he was like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, because he knew what kind of dirt he had done in the course of his life, and he didn't want his daughter subject, which also kind of hindered his ability to be a dad. I'm gonna tell you a quick story that happened with him. Right, we were trying to get. I was trying to get him on the podcast to interview him. Right. This was right after. If y'all don't know who Rosebud is one of the pimps from the documentary
American Pimp.
American Pimp. Right. And
I bought all the dogs.
Right, and I contacted him, and he wasn't even in. I think he might still do a podcast or something. But what was funny was he was supposed to come on the show, and the night that he was supposed to come on, the night before he's coming on, he's like, I don't think I'm gonna make it. Because of the fact that I'm having, and I'm like, yo, dog, I'm always a open book. I was like, dog, what's going on? Is there anything I can help you with? And he says to me, yo, well, I'm having some problems with my daughter. And I go, what's going on? She's like, man, she worrying about this dude. And then she's like, give me a hard time. And she just she ran away and disappeared. And I can't get in contact with her. And she's not, man, she ain't picking up the phone. He still had pimp.
He's still talking like a dad, but pimp.
Right. And I go, well, what? He told me what the story was. And he goes, and he told me what I just said to you, is that she had said, I want to meet a guy just like you. And he was panicking. And I think because he had done things that he thought was ethically, questionable,
immoral,
through his whole life, right? He wanted to protect his daughter from that world, from that pimp world, right?
He overcorrected, maybe.
And so he was rough on his daughter, and his daughter was in college. She was a good girl. I mean, he raised her. He when you come from that street side, you know what to. But sometimes you like you said, it's an overcorrection for the undercorrection, and he was so rough on her that she just felt like, you don't trust me, you this, that, and she had no idea. Like, there's no way that he told her about his pimp days of beating women with hangers and all kinds of shit. And so he was raising her based on those perspectives, right?
Right.
But the bottom line was he wasn't assessing her for who she was as a woman. And I said to him, true story, I said to him, you mind if I speak freely? I don't want to be disrespectful. And I said, you've been pimping for 35, 40 years. He goes, yes. I go, you have been able to get money out of bitch ass forever. You have been able to manipulate women and get them to do things that they never thought they would do. I go, no offense, but your daughter's a bitch. And I didn't mean that she was a bitch, but I meant is that she is the same.
She's a woman.
She's the same women that you have manipulated in. So if anybody knows how to direct and manipulate the situation, you do. I'm curious why you don't think that you could manipulate her for good.
Why do you think the rules are different for her?
Right.
Because he has an understanding. Despite what you think morally, guys who were pimps, I mean, which OnlyFans actually put them out of business, but the manipulative, the way in which he would talk to women to get them to sell their bodies is the same principles that you should be able to talk to your daughter to get her to come home and go back to college. It's the same thing. And he paused, he got quiet. I thought he was going to cuss me out, right? And he says, man, let me call you back. Thought about it for a second. Called his daughter, texted his daughter. She hit him back, blah, blah, blah. She wasn't even doing no dirt. She was just in a hotel. She had got a hotel room somewhere, and she was chilling because she just
needed to
she's
get away.
like, I love my dad, and I'm doing good, and why is he being so hard on me, right? And he reconciled, and then he came on the show. So, it's, for lack of a better word, it was pimping the pimp. You feel what I'm saying? And I always remember that story because it just shows you how we all, no matter what your experience is, you can have a blind spot to something that you know so well simply because emotion is involved, because it's his daughter. And so now here's the crazy thing about Man School and the principles. What do I always say? Never let emotion have a seat at the table. The minute you allow emotion to control your decisions and you can, whatever your logic is or whatever your proficiency in the particular activity that you cut it down to 1/3 the proficiency, because now you're dealing with the emotional aspect of things instead of the logic of it. What I was saying to him was, you have extraordinary manipulative abilities. You can sell ice water to Satan in hell. But somehow you ain't got no control over your daughter, somebody that you know since a child, you know everything about her. Those are the same principles that you would have picked some little girl up from a bus stop and turned out. It's the same thing, but you can do it in a good way. One more thing I want to say real quick. Years ago, I was dating this young lady. She was a fantastic actor. I won't say her name, but she's done extraordinary things. She was in Broadway, but she was bitching about Broadway, and I said that she wanted to go on Broadway, and I said, what do you want to do?
more.
She was like, I want to do Shakespeare in the Park. And I go, well, what's the process? So I just started asking questions. How do you get it? Well, there's this guy that you have. He's the person that decides which theater actors do Shakespeare in the Park. And then she's giving me the rundown, and I go, how do you know this? Oh, she says, oh, I interned for him. I said, so you know this dude? She goes, yeah.
Yeah.
She goes, I go, well, where does he work at? The Public Theater, where if you know anything about Broadway, this is a little more involved. Any show that goes to Broadway goes first to the public. They go out to Berkeley, right? They showcase the play. This is Wiccan and anything else. They go to Berkeley. They do the play out there. They bring it back to the Public Theater in New York, and then they go to Broadway, depending on how it goes. Yeah. They get investors in it. And I said, you know this, and you know the guy. I said, she goes, yeah, I work for him. I go, well, this was a time before digital press kits. I said, well, what do you do? I said, she goes, well, I got to, put a press kit together. I go, well, I didn't even know what a press kit was. I said, what does it entail? Well, your picture, the things you've done, where you work, this, that, and the other with school. She had went to theater school, to acting school, and all kinds of shit. I said, so why don't you do that? Yeah, I'm going to do that. I said, look, here's $300. Can you get it done with that? She goes, absolutely. I said, okay, then get it done. She goes, yeah, I'm thinking, she was hesitating because she was afraid of losing, right, or being. Right. I said, I tell you what, you get this press kit, otherwise I'm not fucking you again until you get this press kit together. And she was like, oh, come on. Yes. I was like, no. I said, I'm not going to have sex with you at all. You can't come to my house until you get this press kit done.
Yeah.
She said, you're bugging. I go, no, I'm standing firm on it. I'm 10 toes down. She got the press kit. She brought the press kit and put it together it was a whole physical press kit. I said, now, she goes, she's trying to get a little stank on the hang down. Sure. You know what I'm saying? A little pokey-okey. You know what I mean? And I was like, now go. I need you to go to the Public Theater, find this dude,
and deliver this press kit. Yeah.
Right.
She said, you bugging. You really serious? I said, yeah, I'm serious as a motherfucker. She did that. We came back. I knocked it out the frame. Hit the bottom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Roughed it up.
Threw your cape on and your pimp hat on.
Yeah,
dance down the steps.
Get that pussy a black eye. You know what I'm saying? And then we was good. 3 weeks later, she got a call back. She got denied for Shakespeare, but she got called for an audition for a play that was called. If y'all don't believe me, you can look it up and you could go through the women. I'm not going to tell you who it was, but the play was called Passing Strange. It was one of the first rock operas. She also did a Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown, which was another Broadway hit. One, yeah. And she was on The Breaks, I think, whatever. I'm giving you her credits. But what I'm saying is the reason why she got these opportunities was because I forced the hand. And I used the D to get her into Broadway. And she's been doing Broadway and film ever since.
And that actress was Helen Mirren. So amazing.
Helen Mirren got some big ass titties.
She does. She looks good. She does.
She got some McGuffies. You ever seen? Dom, can you bring up pictures?
Spartacus.
Bring
Not
up
Spartacus.
Helen Mirren, young
Caligula?
Helen Mirren.
Was it Caligula?
Was she in Caligula?
I think she was. She might have been one of the people in Caligula. Yeah.
Can you bring that up? Bring up.
Well,
Helen
just look
Mirren.
up Helen Mirren news.
Young. Put Helen Mirren
sorry.
young. I mean, I would smash her old ass right immediately, but
sure.
But she's a bad little. But I'm just saying the point is so there's sometimes when I say that there's a saying.
Oh, there
look
you
at,
go.
Look at young Helen Mirren.
Oh man. Oh.
Domino, you wouldn't smash that?
Well, I mean, hey.
Yeah.
She put that red one, the one with the red dress.
Okay.
Come on, stop playing.
Sultry eyes, Helen Mirren.
She got the McGuffies too.
Yeah, she wasn't messing around.
Yeah, she can get it. So my point is that what I say all the time is true wisdom is the understanding of underlying concepts, how they relate to situations that seem irrelevant but really not. What it means is that wisdom is when you understand the concepts, right? And then you reapply them to situations that don't even seem relevant. So me, the same way that Rosebud didn't know how to talk to his daughter, but he had been talking to women his whole life, is here's this guy who has a wealth of knowledge about talking to women and manipulation, and then and compartmentalized it when it came to his daughter that he couldn't even execute it. And when he could just see that the connection, then he could. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And that was really the point, man. But I appreciate you calling in, man. Referring back to your question, man, you take it. I don't really make a choice about which is better, man. It's all about absorbing as much information that you have and learning much from it, and living an experience as opposed to judging which is better, which is not. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you. I was just really wanting to hear you talk about both experiences.
Well, smart way to do it.
Nice way to pimp me.
Hey, speaking of which, how did you? Was that your nephew that wouldn't follow the playbook?
Yeah, my nephew. We don't even talk no more. I haven't spoke to him in years. Which is weird. If you look at also Patreon.com, if y'all want to hear the old episodes when I did live episodes when I had my studio, those are up on Patreon.com/manschool202. You have all of the archives, all of the content.
That's where we're posting them, yeah.
And now, it's what, 12 years? How many years has we been?
12 years. 2012, I think we started.
12.
So it's over.
I started listening in 2014, and I listened to all of them.
Yeah.
We were so young and innocent back then. I mean, I was.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you can go to patreon.com. Great way to support us, man, to keep the show going, keep the content going. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Man School 202
on
podcast
YouTube.
and hit the bell so that you know that we're going live. Also the Patreon, also one-on-one consultations. If you got a problem and you need to talk to me directly, go to DanteNero.com, click on consult. Harry does consultations too, Harry.
Yeah, if you want to reach me, you could email me at advicefromharry@gmail.com. And we arrange a consultation.
Dog,
get your life in order.
Thank you for coming, bro. Calling in, bro. I appreciate you.
Yeah, definitely check out the podcast. If nothing, just to hear the Cinnabon one.
The Cinnabon one is good. I forgot what episode. I'll find out what episode.
Shout out to Cinnabon too.
Cinnabon.
We got Cash App $5 from Clyde. Send me some money. You know what it is. Thank you so much, Clyde. I appreciate you. Phone numbers are 513-202-NERO. The number is, please check us out on my channel. I mean, we're also streaming on Godfrey's channel, so I appreciate Godfrey. Godfrey's giving me the opportunity to reach his audience and maybe give them a little something extra while he's, on his way here.
It's like a nice little bonus.
We got a call. Let's go.
What's going on, Dante?
What's going on? Who's this?
It's Ken from Mississippi, big dog.
What's going on, dog? How can I help you?
I got a little conundrum, man. So I'm gonna just get straight to it. So
go.
Since I was probably like 9 years old, right? I've been like the confidant for all the adults in my family, right?
Yeah.
So with that being the case, I've been privy to a lot of shit children shouldn't be privy to.
Got you.
And with that, I've been growing up. I don't trust a soul because grown folks confide in the kids. They think you don't understand, so they just dump it.
Yeah.
And I see how people so dirty. So now, as a 28-year-old man, it's hard for me to trust anything anybody say because you can see the ulterior motives. If you let people talk enough, it's like, you full of shit.
So here's what I want to say to you. What you're saying to me is, I had the same. I kind of went through the same things. Like I have 3 older sisters.
How they doing?
One's dead.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, that bitch dead.
I didn't know. I wouldn't have brought it up. I'm sorry.
My oldest one,
You must have been sad at the funeral.
Nah, dog. I didn't.
You were happy at the funeral?
There was a funeral?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. I didn't even know there was a funeral. My middle sister, I stopped talking to her before she passed, and we just, But I'll get to that as well. My older sister, I don't talk to her at all because she's just a trash human being. Just trash. My youngest sister, I've reconciled with her, and we're cool. But we grew up together. So I had a half sister. I had 2 half sisters that were older, and one sister that was older, but that was, my whole sister. And me and her is tight. But my middle sister, the one that passed away, was always the party girl. She was always a bitch, right? Or everything that you on
Man,
Red
I'm glad
Pill.
you didn't give the eulogy at a funeral.
I would have. It would have been short. This bitch here.
And
But
then you flip over the page. No, I guess
she
I'm
was
done.
the create problems, messy, fucking niggas, dude, taking money, gold dig, just horrible, right? But as a young dude, I was in the same position where I was confided. Everything was confided in me. I'm 16 or 17 years old. Her husband at the time, she was married twice. Her husband at the time hits her in the face with a full can of Schlitz malt liquor beer,
Jesus.
right? Busts her mouth open. I said Schlitz malt liquor because I want you to get the time error, right? Because nobody drinks
Schlitz malt
Miller
liquor, I
Life
think.
or
Yeah.
shit. So, busted her mouth open, right? And, but because she was so messy and low self-esteem and all the problems that she had, she would always, she was so abusive that she always picked physically abusive dudes. So now I'm 16 years old. I watch this dude come home from work and go to a bar every day. I watch him. I stake him out. And then I'm only 16. I didn't have the size that I had now, but I got a newspaper and I wrapped a lead pipe in the newspaper, right? And as he's stumbling out of the bar, I come up and I go, extra, extra, read all about it. And I smack this dude with a lead pipe and because, can you imagine somebody holding a newspaper and you don't think it's a lead pipe?
You just go, wait, what?
And then bang! And then he goes, God damn, how hard did he?
Yeah, that was hard-hitting news.
That was
breaking news.
Yeah, that was breaking news. Oh, thank you. Oh, I got mad that
That's
you
funny.
got that first.
Breaking news is good.
Breaking news.
Breaking news across your face.
And I whipped that.
My issue is this though, man. So it's like, okay, with that being the case of everybody confiding in me, I grew into that being the same thing with my friend group. So it's like everybody I'm associated with, it's like I'm the one they call the trauma dump on. Ain't no
but you gotta understand.
Right.
But here's my point. This is what my point was. It's like this. That's who I was. Even when I went to college, I found guys who kind of and you know what? To be honest, even now, I have a lot of friends that, I'm not even friends, but I have people who use me to trauma dump, like you're saying, and give advice,
fix
and
their
then
problems,
and very rare are they appreciative and stuff. And so, but you got to also understand something. That is your nature.
You're putting yourself in that position too.
And what you have to understand is you have to understand what your value is in the context of that. But you also have to understand, this is like the whole Rosebud thing. You have to also understand what your skill set is. Like, you don't trust people because most people are not trustworthy. But if you use those same instincts that you have about why you don't trust people, you can also verify who's trustworthy. Do you see what I'm saying?
For sure.
So, like, to be hypersensitive about people when you're looking at somebody and they talking and you go, oh, this motherfucker's shit. Like, here's the thing. I have this thing with Godfrey all the time. And Godfrey is like, he didn't grow up like me and whatever, and that's my man, love him to death. But we will get guys who come in for an interview. And I'll meet the dude in the front in the lounge.
Sure.
And I'll be like, yeah, I don't like that motherfucker. And Godfrey will be like, oh, man, what? What did he do now? And I'm like, this motherfucker's he's shiesty. And he's like, what happened? I just got here. And he just thinks I'm jumping out the window. But what I'm saying is when you're in that situation where you're hypersensitive to this, you see the red flags, and the red flags are amplified because of the fact that I don't believe in intuition, any bullshit but what I'm saying is you see patterns.
Well, you're reading energy, you're reading
you're not even energy, you're reading the patterns.
Behavior.
You've seen it before. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a
Like
guy.
you're coming in too hot. Like, you're not
And you
Too
go,
much
there's
energy,
a reason why. When I used to bounce, there was a dude, you would have that guy that came up, hey, big man, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, he have a couple of girls with him, and we would get on the mic and we'd be like, yeah, striped shirt, watch him. He gonna be fucking up by 1 o'clock. And
Yeah.
sure enough, you could read him because of the patterns. So what I'm saying is, I get that. Look, don't get me wrong. Trust is a gift. Like but it's also earned. So somebody has to earn your trust, and the simple ability that you have to see when somebody is untrustworthy is not a curse. It's a gift, because you're not going to be in a situation where people can take advantage of you. Does that make sense?
That makes plenty of sense.
Now, Ken,
You really seconding what I already knew.
Yeah.
Go ahead, big dog. My bad.
how has it affected your relationships? Are there situations where either you've been wrong, you've cut things short? Like, how has this impacted relationships for you?
With all relationships, they get cut short because it's like women that I deal with. I can't say all. The women I deal with, they tend to be looking for a father. So they like the fact that I live a structured life and I like things a certain way. But when that structure is imposed on the way that their lives affect mine, then it's a problem, because it's like, oh, now you're doing too much. But it's like, no, I live a structured life. I go to bed at a certain time. I go to work at a certain time. I don't like to talk on the phone this much, that much. But when I impose that on you, because I see you fucking up and you steady coming to me with the same issues, and I tell you that you need some structure. Now, you trying to be my daddy. You kind of, it always turns out to that shit. Like, they like it until it's put on them.
Until they can't do the fuck shit that they want to do. But you got to understand something. How old are you?
28.
Okay, so let's say when you break these relationships off because somebody's messy or somebody has trauma, and I found this to be, I don't know if you can relate to this. Doug, I had 2 of my ex-girlfriends call me up today. Not on some sexual shit, but just genuinely respect for me, because of the fact that I was so righteous in the and don't get me wrong, because I was younger and I was sometimes I was messy, but at
Overall,
the core, my constitution was honest and forthright, and I was credible and I was empathetic.
You're a righteous man.
And so they never get over that. I'm not saying that they're laying around, hanging around in the bushes waiting.
I know exactly what you're saying.
But if I want,
they can't find.
Yeah, if I want to spark it up, all I gotta do is be on them. So what's up with that fat ass? And they be like, hey, here you go. You're so
you
great.
Always playing.
Exactly.
You know it.
So what I'm saying is, and you gotta, here's something. So you're 28 and I'm 58, right? So I'm gonna say something to you.
Yeah. Give me that knowledge.
But people, if given the right circumstances, will act out of character, right? People will do things that you never thought they would do, giving the combination and the vibe, the timing, the whatever. I've seen people do crazy shit that I was like, oh, that couldn't be. Now, the point is that
that goes both ways, though, too.
Sure. When you say both ways,
meaning like when you say that they do crazy shit, it implies sort of like, when given the right circumstances, somebody will be devious, somebody will steal, they'll lie, they'll cheat, even.
Sure.
But it could go the other way. Given the right circumstances,
people will act differently when people are not hungry or they're not thirsty or they're not chasing something, or when they feel they're in a situation.
They have the right environment, they're taken care of.
I feel like people will show you a certain person, and then the real them will come out, and that's what'll make you be like, damn, really?
Always, but you will also, I think you have to also, this is the wisdom to it, is that you have to understand that sometimes people will act out of character. So what I'm saying is there's a difference between the action and the constitution of the individual. Meaning, there are some, like I've had guys call me up and they were like, yo, my girl cheated on me and I'm la 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 la, and I could never trust her. And I go, and then I ask them, is who she is as a person untrustworthy? And they, well, she cheated on me, and And I go, yeah, that's not what I asked you. I go, overall, who she is as a person, is she untrustworthy? Nah, not really. I mean, so the question is, was the cheating a one-off, or was it her constitution? Do you understand what I mean? Like, is it,
human nature?
Right. And so people will do things in certain situations because of the circumstances, you know? There are people who you could never perceive them as taking a life, right?
Given the right circumstances,
Given the right
and
circumstances,
self-defense
your
and protecting
kids,
some
self-defense
other,
people. Then there's, you know, like it's funny because I remember, I think I called Harry up one day. I said, Harry, do you think I could be a hitman? He was like, oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Like, and I was like, you don't have to answer that quick, motherfucker.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Is that all, or is there?
You can tell me if what I see is not sensible, since you got a little more wisdom.
Go ahead.
But I call it blind trust, man. Like, you can't really trust nobody. But I go into every situation with blind trust that the representative that you presented to me is the person that I'm going to be dealing with.
You are out of your mind.
Situations come out.
You are out of your fucking mind. You should never. The terminology "blind trust" sounds crazy to me.
Talk to me.
People earn the level of trust. You're not testing each other, but you're going through life and you're observing, like, love, friendship, respect.
Let me clarify it a little more for you, Dante. Like, when I say blind trust, I mean it in the sense of, I don't trust you with my life, or I don't trust that you won't steal out my house, but I trust that you told me you wake up at 7 o'clock and wash your ass. I'm going to trust that you mean that. I'm not going to think, oh, you full of shit.
You're going to assume somebody's honest until they lie to you.
No.
But, you know, it's just watching it's like a job interview. The person you interview on the job is not the person you're going to get. You're going to find out who that person is when they show up at work.
Henry?
Yeah.
Bring that shit home for me.
I'm gonna tell you something. My nephew, I remember my nephew was like,
oh, how's he doing?
I don't know. I have no fucking idea.
You didn't see him at the funeral?
No. I didn't go to the funeral.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting.
He might have been there. Well, I didn't see him. Big shouts to Michael McMahon. $10 at the Cash App. Thank you, baby. But what happened was, he was a dude who, like I was trying to explain to him, I remember one year he had 6 jobs in 1 year, just kept getting fired. And he was like, yo, they bugging, blah, blah, blah. They bugging?
All 6 of them?
All 6 of them. But I said to him, when you sit down, I don't give a fuck if he was where I remember him working at Wendy's. When you sit down and they interview you and they ask you questions, they qualify you, right? Then they say, well, okay, I'll see you Monday at 7 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
If you show up at 7:15, right? That's a red flag. I'm not saying he should be fired because of whatever. You're not dishonest. I mean, you're not so that you don't understand life. Things happen. It's possible on his first day something could have happened, but it definitely a red flag should pop up, right?
It's definitely noted.
But if he's consistently late, you might as well fire him, because it's going to that lack of commitment, that dishonesty is going to show up somewhere else. It's only a matter of time, you know? And I remember I said, you gave your word. He go, it's just Wendy's. I was like, yeah, but you sat across the dude. He said you start at 7 o'clock. You shook his hand, looked him in the eye, and said, oh, yeah, thanks for the job. And then you didn't hold up your end of the bargain. And understand this. This is not about Wendy's. Like, I'm not dishonest because I'm not a dishonest person. It doesn't matter what the context of it. I need to be, and just because other people are dishonest, right, doesn't give me a license to be dishonest. It does give me the opportunity to change the context of the deal that we made. Do you understand? So if I got your back and you got my back, and then you show me that you don't got your back, I'm not arguing with you. I'm just adjusting the contract. And I'm not going to tell you I adjusted the contract. I'm going to just adjust. Once I've committed to the fact that you're full of shit, or you're lazy, or you don't say what you mean, and you don't do what you say, I'm not even mad at you. But there could come a time where your constitution is just incompatible to the way that I run my life, which is exactly what you're talking about, having this regimen. But if you're telling somebody this is how I do things, and they know that, and then they do, and they go, yeah, I'm gonna do what you dating some girl, she goes, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do. What is she saying? What is the subtext of that conversation? I don't give a fuck about your happiness, what you want, what you don't want. I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do, and you better. I
don't care about your feelings.
I'm gonna
or
give you
any,
some butt.
I don't give a shit
and
about you.
shut your mouth. Take the butt, or in Dom's case, don't take the butt.
Okay.
Dangle a carrot, right? And not whatever, and then you shut your mouth. And what I'm saying is, yeah, you gotta go. And the response is always,
why?
Well, why?
Why?
Yeah, because it's not.
It's the Cat Williams. What
And
did
they know
I
why.
do?
That's the crazy thing about women that I've started to peep. Like they play crazy and like they clueless, but they know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly.
And I get what you're saying, but I'm gonna say this for the record. Sunday, I had a dude who was just fucking disrespectful, and it cost him $200,000. So this is not I want to be clear, this is not a woman thing. This is a human thing.
Yeah.
People are dishonest, and I'm quite sure even in your family and all the stuff that you said, you've seen the men in your family do fuck shit. Fuck people.
Men and women, man. This shit don't stop at gender.
That's
my point. So what I'm saying is, but the you being 28 years old and having this experience is a blessing. It's not a curse. And so let me give you a tactic. I don't do anything for somebody that I can't do for them not reciprocate, right? And I'm mad. Do you understand? Let me make that clear again.
Yeah.
If you ask me to borrow money, right? I'm gonna borrow the money that I could borrow and lose. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's
because
exactly what I was thinking. Yeah.
If you fuck me, that's the best. That's the best $300 I ever spent getting you out of my life. If I give you more money than I can afford to lose, right? Now I'm gonna want to go in your mouth. Now I'm gonna try and give you a root canal, right? Because now I'm mad because what I'm really mad at, I'm not really mad at you. I'm mad at me for giving somebody the opportunity to do some fuck shit.
Me over.
Exactly. And that is a decision that be clear. That's a decision. You made that decision. Because there's never a situation where there's no red. And me and Harry have talked about this 100 times. There's never a situation where the red flags are not there.
People just ignore them. They don't want to believe them, but they're always there. Because it's not like it is in those Lifetime movies and shit where they go, it's the perfect
everything
marriage.
was fine. And then she just, nope. Don't happen.
They pick the red flags up and put them in their pocket.
Yeah, or they waving and you like, excuse me, can I get to these McGuffies? Right?
Yeah.
Let me. Can you? These are good.
Flag down right quick.
Yeah. Just move that out the way. Let me just get one titty out. Like this is what we do. Or the girl goes, oh, he got a Bugatti, he got a Benz, he got money. You didn't see him just punch his 3-year-old sister in the face? Like this guy's clearly violent.
You don't know him. You don't know him like
you don't know him like I. And this
is Dante, I'm gonna get off your line. I ain't gonna tie it up.
All right, brother.
Do me one favor, man.
Yeah.
Speak to one thing for me, man. I'm a young guy. I got a blue collar job.
Yeah.
I try to tell other young guys, hey man, this the path. Nowadays the glitz and glamour is what get everybody. I want to be in the streets. I want to scam, be whatever. Just speak to the fact of how everybody needs the blue collar man. At the end of even the guys in the street need that man that know how to work on cars. They need that man to know how to go under the house and clean them pipes out. They need somebody to reframe their deck. Even if you're in the streets, you got to pay that blue collar man. The blue collar man, my whole thing, I tell these young guys, they get all the pussy. You think your mama paid for that seat to get fixed? You crazy. She couldn't even buy you no new shoes.
Yeah.
That nigga wanted $250 for that seat. Your mama just went crazy in that room.
Yeah.
And I try to tell these guys, the streets ain't where it's at. Go get you a trade. Go find you some
But
real money.
you gotta understand something. Somebody who you I get what you're saying, but what you're doing is you're jumping the gun. Somebody who's chasing the glitz is somebody who usually ain't ready to put the work in for the real, for something that's substantial. And you can't teach that. They gotta be there for that. You feel me? And if they're not for that, I mean, you're right, Doug. I mean, I just spent, what did I spend on my Jeep, my truck? I just spent $4,000 on a new fucking transmission. One clip.
Most of that was the fucking labor.
Yeah, and then and let me tell you something. I went to school for auto mechanic stuff. I hate turning wrenches. I hate banging my knuckles. I hate the grease. And no disrespect to you. What do you do for a living?
I drive trucks, man. I deliver groceries.
All right. So what I'm saying is I hate turning wrenches. So I don't mind paying a dude to fix my car.
Yeah.
You feel me? But the difference is if you're an auto mechanic, right? And you'll know this because you drive trucks. If you get a guy who, he don't even have to be cheap, but he could just be honest and good, he'll have more business than he could ever want. He could have
trying to push it off on somebody.
Yeah, because when it comes down, the cheapest is the dearest in the end. The bottom line is when you get the car back, you want some kind of integrity, and this is again, it helps them. But I appreciate you, bro. And thanks for calling. But you way ahead of the game at 28 years old. You feel me?
I had to follow the big dog. I appreciate that, Dante.
All right, brother.
Smooth it out. And hey, man, I appreciate the fact that you tell your story about how you was out here pimping and all that, blase. But
let's keep that on the low. Let's not talk about that.
How you was in the manhole,
yeah,
the man doing real work.
Yeah, that too.
Hands dirty.
That's
true. I respect that, big dog. And I'm gonna tell you, it's a lot of young guys that listen to you. Get out your way, be smooth, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Yeah. Thank you.
At the very end there, he's revealing, man, I appreciate you telling those stories, how you hit people while they're not looking with a pipe, and then drag them underneath your Jeep and run them over several times on Lexington Avenue. Like, hey, whoa.
Statute of limitations. Yeah. It's not. We're going to try one more call. We're going to go try and get one more call. 513-202-NERO. If you don't call quick, we're going to shut this down. So I'm tired.
A lot of interesting calls tonight.
Yeah, it was
different variety.
You know what it is too? I think a lot of the Godfrey, like what's going on in the super chat? Any super chats? No,
we don't have a super chat tonight. That's
right. How many people we got on Godfrey's thing right now?
Got 262 concurrent viewers.
And how many overall?
Overall, 1 second, 3,032.
Nice. All right. My thing is, please, people on Godfrey's channel, please like and subscribe on the Man School 202 channel, please, and hit the bell so you know when I'm going live. I go live 3 times a week. For the most part, at least 2 times a week, unless I'm traveling. I won't be live Thursday because I'm traveling out. My man is handling this, so I can't even get into it. But we got a call. Let's go. Last call of the night. What's your name? What's your name? Where you calling from, family?
East Coast, Anthony.
What up, man? What's going on? How can I help you, bro?
What's good? First of all, shout out to Lil Jamal, Flat Earth Gang, rise up.
Flat Earth Gang.
No, but I just got back from yoga class, right?
Yeah.
And I go to yoga, every now and then. It's like 90% women, right?
Yeah,
sure.
It's a dope environment. I'm not trying to be in there to pick up girls and no predatory shit. I'm just there to, you appreciate that female energy and shit.
Yeah.
I I remember one time, like a long time ago, listening to Black Phillip, you had mentioned like you used to go to salsa class.
Yeah. I was a Salcedo, my friend.
So what was your? Well, you was also a stripper, so you had that whole.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
shit about yoga. I'm still new to shit.
Yeah.
But like, what is your code of conduct for environments like that, where it's like 95% women? Like, how do you carry yourself? Like,
Man.
like I'm a tall dude. I'm a big guy. Like, I stand out. I can't shrink in the corner and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but how tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
Yeah, you do shrink, and what I mean by that is, how much you weigh.
Like maybe like between 225, 250. I'm a big dude.
Right. So what I'm saying is, as a big dude, you are aware when people are intimidated by you. Are you not?
Yes.
Okay. And so, because I go through the same thing, I smile. I always give people a smile. When I shake people's hand, I make sure I look them in their face. I try to be welcoming because I know, and even when I do that, they be like, a lot of times, and Harry's been around with a big motherfucker like you, I had to shoot you. And you be like,
what?
We are in church,
Yeah.
sir. So it's because people have their own personal insecurity. So you do know how to shrink. But I really think the etiquette for any of this is just a level of there's honesty. I always believe that honesty. I think one of the reasons why this channel is growing, one of the reasons why I get guys calling me from Australia and Mongolia and Florence and Wales and all over the world, is because it resonates. Dubai and all kind of. It's because it resonates to them that I give a fuck. And the only way that you can really communicate that you give a fuck is you got to actually give a fuck. So when I talk about a guy who sees women as utilitarian, right? They don't really like women, and I like women as a dick cozy, as just something that I use and talk. It is if it's not initially, like, sure, if the guy's good looking, a girl will be like, oh, he's cute, but there's always a feeling, there's a bad taste in your mouth because you get eventually. You cannot lie forever. So I think that the simple fact that you're asking this question is the answer. The fact that you are already leading with a level of empathy and etiquette of being in this space where there are women, and just being honest and straightforward. I mean, you got to know how to read the room. You don't want to say no fuck shit. Damn, you bitches is flexible. Like, you don't want that.
I be wanting to say that, Dante.
But the point.
All that shit.
But the point is, you don't.
But keeping it to yourself, that's called supporting feminism.
Yeah,
okay, we all go, man, look at that pair of tits. But you keep it on the inside.
There's no such thing as a thought crime, bro. I mean, there's some religions that believe in thought crime it's not what you are, what you do, not what you think. Don't get me wrong. What you think can guide what you do, but the point is, we know what it is. So one of the things about there's really not the same thing in yoga and salsa, because part of salsa is there is contact, and it's one of the I tell dudes all the time, the greatest thing I ever did was take salsa. Salsa is the classic explanation for a great relationship. Number one, the guy has to have a strong lead, right? But his lead can't be stronger than her ability to move and to dance and to spin. You got to be mindful of that, so you have to be present. The woman submits to him, knowing that while she's spinning and turning and whirling around and whatever, that he's going to make sure that she doesn't run into another couple or a wall or a mirror. So she trusts him. She
has to have trust in him.
Because he's supposed to make her safe. The other thing about it is his job is not to show off. Well, you get to show off a little bit, but your job is to put her on display. So she does the hand shit. You got to give her, and you got to let her be, so she can show how beautiful. Now, if you think about a great relationship, is a strong man who is confident about her. She's confident about him keeping her safe. She gets to be feminine. She gets to be who she wants to be. And if she trips, she oversteps on her foot or steps on or whatever, you're going to catch her.
You catch her, right.
And the confidence in which your lead is in salsa is something that makes her come out of her shell because she feels as though you got her back, right? She can show off a little bit. She can be feminine. She can be vulnerable. Like you ever seen somebody spin somebody and they spin them multiple times? That's a skill that salsa dancers learn. And I always had a really strong lead. So when I would spin a chick, she could only do single turns, but I would whip her, and she'd go do 2 or 3 turns because I would give her the energy. And if she tripped, I was there to catch her. And I can't tell you how many times I spun a chick who had never spun 3 times. I'd spin her, and she'd go, oh my God, and just instantly turned on by the fact that, because it's also dance is that thing where you're sharing. You cannot dance salsa with a woman that doesn't let you lead. It's like dragging a refrigerator around the dance floor. She got to go where you point her, and she's got to be in tune with you so that she sees where you're taking her.
She's got to want to let you lead,
Yeah.
but once you lead, you also have to do things to benefit her. Leading is not just about doing what you want to do on the dance floor.
I've never met a woman that doesn't like a strong man. Now, strong is relative, and it's a degree, but you also got to understand women want to relinquish the control. They just want to relinquish the control with somebody who they know will keep them safe and they can lead.
Right.
You get in an Uber and the dude has a problem pulling out in the traffic, right? You go, well, wait a minute. But you get in the Uber, the guy's, oh, it's good to see you. It tells you what the address and pulls out in the traffic and then zip, 5 stars. It's the same thing. Women want to feel confident about the guy that they're with. Make sense?
Yeah, and they want somebody who can enhance their capabilities instead of hogging the spotlight for themselves.
There's no way you can tell me. These women have to be flirting with you in the yoga class. No?
I'm so like inward. Like I don't even want to like pay attention to that possibility just yet. This is like I've only been going a little while. I don't even know names, right? I don't know faces and names. So if they are, then I'm ignoring it.
Let me say this. If you play basketball at all, pick up.
On occasion.
But when you play basketball, you'll be like, yo, my name. What's your name again? I'm sorry.
Anthony.
Anthony. You don't say, yo, my name Ant. Shake motherfucker's hand and play.
Yeah,
but you're not trying to fuck them, right? I mean, I'm not saying you can. I mean, if that's your thing, but I'm saying the point is you don't have to close yourself off to humanity because you're so afraid. I hear this all the time, especially, people like, with feminism and Me Too, probably you can't say nothing. No, you can't say nothing. You can't say nothing because
they can say whatever they want.
Your intention is insincere. Your intention is predatory. Harry will tell you, I've said some crazy.
Oh yeah, all the time.
And they
giggle, laugh.
So fucking crazy.
Yo, girl.
Because my intention is not predatory.
Show me that fat ass. Oh, you crazy. You could go right in.
I had a comic. It's funny. I'm gonna let you go after this. I had a comic, female comic. She was like, it's so crazy. I'm getting older now, and all these young guys they keep hitting on me. And I go, that's because word on the streets is you got some bomb ass pussy. And she laughed because she knows what the fuck I'm like. No, I didn't hear on the streets. They're not talking about you. Well, maybe I heard a couple of times.
And that woman was Tina Fey.
That woman was Gilda Radner. It was 1973. So do you know what I'm saying? So when you lead with when your intention is sincere and honest, people see that. I think that's why the channel is growing. That's why people follow. That's why people call me from all over the fucking world because they get it. They get it. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. I appreciate you.
All right, Dante. Good talk, man. Peace.
All right.
Yeah. Wow.
Michael McMahon, $10 at the Cash App. And my man Theo Wells in the building, $5 on the fucking
nice.
Cash App. Yeah. Don't forget, y'all, please follow us on the Patreon. And I'm making a point. Please follow us on the Man School 202 channel. Please, and then hit the notification, hit the bell so that you get notified when I'm live. If you like the content, man, I really appreciate your coming. Shout out to all the Godfrey's listeners that are checking me out and giving me a play, just giving me an opportunity to see what I do. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, I totally get it. Everything's not for everybody, and I'm not mad at you. But thank you for giving the chance. Also, don't forget to follow us on the Patreon. The Patreon is patreon.com/manschool202. Like, subscribe, share. You can also, if you want a consultation, you can hit me at DanteNero.com. Click on consult. That's how you get me directly one-on-one. Also, the Patreon, let me say this with the Patreon. When you get on the Patreon, on the level, this year we're changing things up. The Patreon members are directing the Patreon episodes.
Content, yeah.
So when you ask a question, I will do a show on the question you ask. So that's how we're doing it this year. Harry, you want your consultation? Do you want to?
If you want consultations from me, email me at advicefromharry@gmail.com. And also follow all of my social media so you can see my stand-up, all the stuff I'm doing. It's all at Harry Turjanian. And, yeah, it's some good stuff up there. So follow it, and thank you for listening.
Yo, GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, What Would Dante Do? The Sexual Revolution is being podcasted. You know, I love y'all, man. Peace.
Man School 202. Better hear what I've got to say because you won't get it again.
I'm not an alpha male. I'm not a beta male either. I'm just a better man. Better man. Well, put your happiness first, because if you don't, they won't.